Hey, this is Greg with Duff Makes It, and part 5 of the 58 Chevy truck build. Here you are looking at the engine where I've bolted on some more parts, the water pump, the exhaust manifolds, the distributor with the spark plug wires, still doing some wiring on it. Brake lines have been done. And more on the exhaust. You can see there pointing out some of the exhaust, the hangers that I made. Had to make those rods right there that I'm pointing at. Had to make those and put all that on with the gas tank back there, the suspension. It's at this point it's starting to become, a real truck, and looking a lot better, looking like a truck. And then when I get a lot of the other parts, as you'll see near the end of this video, probably the middle of this video, you'll see it's really starting to come together. Here again, same kind of things going on. Battery tray, that's for the battery. I made it out of wire, and it's kind of neat looking. There's the seat. Of course, we had it recovered, and you'll see when we got it reupholstered here. That's the AC vents. They're in the dash, and I made this plastic panel out of styrene, Centra type of styrene. It's an 1/8 inch, and I made it out of that. I don't know if I'm going to keep that on there or not. We'll wait and see. Here we go with the inner fenders and the core support. Steering wheel painted and installed with the original horn button. Radiator and the condenser for the AC unit. Aluminum brackets I made there. I cut those out of aluminum there on those. You see those silver brackets on either side. That's a dark picture. It's not very good. The AC lines that I ran through the inner fender, and those are inside the where the kick panel goes. There's an area in there that can be utilized for the hoses. I don't know how well that's going to work, but we'll wait and see. The dash set up again with pretty much everything in the dash. Here we have again the engine, the hoses I put on there. At this point it'll almost crank. There's the hoses for the AC and heater. Another angle of the interior, that's the shifter. You can barely see it there. Everything's dark. It's black and everything's dark, so it's hard to see, but the condenser again mounted. There's the front clip there, sanded. I haven't clear coated it yet at this point, I don't think. There's the hint. That's the hood latch. I ended up using the original one. I think I cleaned it up. I don't think I show it cleaned up, but I started cleaning it up here, and I got it all cleaned and greased up and put back in, and I used that. I put new hood hinges on it though, because the old ones were no good. And you can see the battery in there with the right near the hood hinge there. I got all that strapped down. I made all that. The strap and the battery box was all made, handmade. And here it is after. I think that's after I clear coated it. It's got a little there's after I clear coated it. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, so you can tell. And then I think I scuffed it back down. So I think I'm going to end up clear coating it again. But I used like a satiny clear coat on it. There's the front. Obviously the grill with the lights and all that are in there now. And it's starting to really shape up. And the 58 and 59 have dual headlights, and the 55 to 57 have a single headlight. That's the major difference. And here's the seat, Alcantara, black Alcantara on the top and bottom, and then that material in the middle is a material they use on luggage. It's a real high impact material. And the guy that sewed that did a really good job on those straight. Look how straight those lines are. He did a really good job on that. The bed, it's an original bed. It's not new, but it looks really nice. It was a really nice bed. That's why I used it, because it's original type parts. And I fixed the fenders. Here you can see I'm welding in those little flanges because it was rotted out, and I wanted to use the fenders because it had the patina on it already, and I didn't want to have to recreate patina on the fenders. You see how bad those were? It's pretty bad. But I got all that cut out and re-welded it, new pieces in. Some of that was pretty bad too. And there again, I used those scissors are there because I made templates of the flanges that were still there and good to use on the other fenders, so I could make them identical. And there's the bed. I had to patina the bed because it was from a different truck, and they were already primed anyway. They didn't have black paint on them, so I painted them and then I scuffed them back down and tried to make it match the rest of the truck. Which eventually I think it does kind of match it. It didn't at first because I had painted it, so. And there it is, really starting to look like a truck now, for sure. Started getting excited at this point because it was coming to a close, and I couldn't get it done quick enough. I worked day and night on this project to get it done late at night, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, just to try to get it done as quickly as possible. Like again, I think I said before, it took me about 6 months to do it. And you can see the bed there and the fenders. The fenders were off this truck, and the only thing I did with those is scuff them and clear coat them. In the bed, I had to actually paint and scuff, and it does match fairly well. Those little steps on the step side there, those little steps, I had to do the same thing to those. There's the doors, and the doors I went through 4 doors. The doors that came with it were no good. They were completely rotted. I couldn't use them. They were not only rotted on the bottom, but they were rotted on the top. So there was, I couldn't spend the time on those. It was just too much. So I found 2 more doors, and Actually, it was 5 doors. It took 5 doors in order to get them, to get any kind of doors that would work instead of buying new ones. I could have bought new ones, but I wanted to try to keep the cost down. The doors were cheap. One of them was free. A buddy of mine gave me one. Here's the Viking emblem. Doesn't go on this truck, but I thought they looked cool, so I think it goes on a bigger truck, not a smaller truck like this, but like a 3/4 or something ton truck. I think that's what those Viking emblems go on. So, but I found them. They were cheap, and I put them on there. They look good. The bed wood, I made that bed wood out of some old wood I had lying around, and those metal strips are stainless. And here's the tail lights, and the lights are working, and the bumper there. Well, I appreciate you joining me for part 5, and join me for part 6, which is the last part, in the next video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.